So, glorious lovers, you're welcome to my online class. This is Glorious Edwards. Thank you for staying tuned to my groups. Thank you for staying tuned to my channel. God bless you. I love you guys. Honestly, I appreciate you. God bless you. Now, let's go to the tutorial proper. For this tutorial, the materials that will be needed are my measuring tape, my thread and hand needle, the matching thread, scissors, tailor's chalk, fiber, measuring tailor's ruler, the measuring ruler for tailors. Now, the fabric I'll be using for this tutorial is Duchess. Now, the measurement for the fabric is for the multi-pleated band 15 inches by 10 inches in 2 places. For the lining that I'll be using to line our smoky design, 24 inches by 11 inches. For the twist that will be on our smoky design, the measurement is 4.5 inches by 40 inches in 2 places. For the handle, 5 inches by 12 inches to use to tie our turban cap at the back. 5 inches by 12 inches in 2 places. Now, for our smoky design, the measurement for our smoky design is 38 inches by 20 inches. 38 inches for the head circumference, a little bit stretchy part. So now the first thing we are going to do is to make our smoky design. I'm just using this as an illustration because I've already done the smoky design. So I just want to illustrate how I made it. You will take your measuring tape to the edge of your 38 inches and firstly measure out 2 inches. Then henceforth you start measuring out 1.5 till you get to the end of your 38 inches. When you get to your 38 inches, it might remain 2 inches too. So you leave the 2 inches, the same 2 inches you left in the beginning is the same 2 inches you're going to leave when you get to the end. So you start to measure out 1.5 inches. So that is how you measure it out. Now you will come to the end of your 38 inches to the bottom like this, and also measure out 2 inches from the beginning and continue to measure out 1.5 inches. So till you get to the end like that. So you measure the same place you start. The same place you start here is the same place you start here. Now we have measured for our 38 inches. Now we start measuring for our 20 inches. For our 20 inches, you just start your 1.5 measurement straight. Just start your 1.5 measurement. So that is how you measure. Then you come to the edge too, here like this, to the edge of your 20 inches and start your measurements from the same place you start. So, I started measurement for my 20 inches from here. So I measure to this place. I'll start from here too and measure up to that place. So you can see the way I measured everything. So I measure 1.5 on the 20 inches on both sides. I measure 1.5 on the 38 inches on both sides. But when I started the 38 inches, I left 2 inches. And I left 2 inches. So now the next thing to do is to take my ruler and rule them out. So when you are ruling, just rule lightly. Don't rule to the extent that it will show on the other side. So just take your ruler and rule out. You want to get a box shape. So as you can see, I'm done ruling out from one end of our 32 inches to the other end. So now the next thing is to rule my 20 inches on my 20 inches from this end that I've marked to this end. So I'm done making our box. So I ruled 38 inches to 38 inches and 20 inches from one end of 20 inches to the other end of 20 inches. I noticed that other one was too rough, so that is why I decided to rule a smaller part in order for me to demonstrate what I am actually doing. So you will leave one end of your 20 inches and the other end of your 20 inches, and you will leave one end of your 38 inches and the last end of your 38 inches before you start your marking. So now the next thing to do now is I want to start my marking. So just watch what I will do after leaving the first 2 inches here. You mark like this, like this, like this, like this. So that's why I'm using a different chalk for us to see what I've done. Then you will leave a line. You will leave a line. Then from the next line again, just what you have done here is what you will do. So just look at it. So the next thing you will leave a line too. And like this. Like this. So this is what you're going to do till you get to the end of your 38 inches. So now when you are done like this, the next thing now is to take your needle and thread and start like this. Just watch what I will do from the first one like this. Just take a little like this, then a little from here too. So and pull it. So this is what you're going to take. Then you pull it together like this. You hold it together. Then you pass a needle through. So that is how to secure that one. Now the next one is one that goes like this. So you don't need to cut this off. Just bring your needle here. Pick from the edge here. Pick another one from the edge here. Yes. So just pull it together too. Just leave. Don't pull it to the extent that you pull this thread that is joining the two of them. Just leave the small thread like that and pull it and join it together. Secure it like that. Then you come up here and take. So what I'm doing is, when I took this one, after closing this place together, I brought my needle here to pick this one and join them together too. When I finish, I will now come to this place to pick this one, put them together. So that is what I'm picking here now on the edge here. To this place here. So you pull, you leave a little like this. Hold them together. So you come to the last one here. Pick it here. Pick another one up here. Like this. Then you pull it together. Hold the two together. Also hold them together. So this is what you're going to do. Look at the back. So this is what. So at this point, you knot it very well and you cut it off. So you start the second line again. That is what we are going to do. Start the second line again. Pick here. Pick here. Put it together. Come back to do this. Then you pull it. Then you pick the next one here. Pull it together. Pick another one here. So that is what you're going to do till you get to the end of your 32 inches. You can see our design is already coming out. So if you do it very well, this is what you achieve. So I just used this to demonstrate. So that is what you will do till you get to the end. So when you get to the end, this is what you will achieve. This is how it will look like. You can see the back. So this is it. So we are done with our smoking design. But the next thing I'm going to do now is to sew my 15 inches by 10 inches that is in two places. So I will sew it, the multiplied V band. So I will sew it and come back to show us the final. So now I'm done sewing the multiplied V band for our smoky design. So now the next thing I will do now is to take the body of my smoky design with the right side facing me. I'll fold it into two like this to get the midpoint. So just try to get the midpoint. So now I believe this should be my midpoint. So you notch it out, the midpoint. So this is it. Now you take the lining that you want to use under it. You get the midpoint also. Don't forget our lining is 24 inches for the stretchy part and 11 inches for the length. So fold it into two to get the midpoint. So now the next thing, you place your smoky design on the table like this with the right side facing you, where you have notched for your midpoint. Then you place your band on it. You place your band on it. I've not cut it out. I always like to get this midpoint before cutting out the excess. So with the midpoint of your band and the midpoint of the body of your smoky design facing each other, you place it like this. You take your pin and pin it down. So you do that. Then you also take your lining. This lining too has the wrong side and the right side, with the wrong side facing you. With the wrong side facing you, you place the 24 inches where you have notch on it too, on the midpoint of this, and pin the 3 of them together. So you pin the 3 of them together now. Now the next thing is for you to start arranging, making sure you will use this your lining as the yardstick, as the real edge circumference, which is 24 that we are trying to achieve. You know that if you stretch this one, it might be more than 24. So as you are sewing, you sew along to make sure that everything, every part of this smoky design is just measure up to. Don't use your band, you know the band will be more, is just measure up to that 24 inches. So when you sew, you try to adjust it like this as you place it on it. So I will adjust it now and pin it down for us to be seeing how you are going to sew. And adjust this side. So you pin it like that. So when you have done pinning these two sides like this, so you come to this edge. So you come to this edge, take the band and the edge of this one, of the smoky design, like this. So when you take the 3, you take your pin and pin it down. So now you can see this our lining and the smoky design. You can see that is much than this one. So now you start adjusting. You start adjusting it. The smoky design. When you adjust like this, you put the band on it. And the lining, you pin them. It's better you pin down first before you take it to your sewing machine. So when you take it to the sewing machine, you adjust this. So as you can see, this is how you pin it down before you take it to your sewing machine to sew. You pin it down with the band. So look at this side too. So that's how you take it to the sewing machine and sew from this end down to this end. So now when you come to the side too, when you look at the side now, it might be a bit longer than your lining. So you start adjusting too. You adjust it there. You adjust it in form of pleating. You get to the end of your lining. So when you get to this down too, you start adjusting. But most importantly, don't let anyone move inside like this. Bring it out to the edge of your lining. So that's how you continue. So that's how you sew it on the back side like this. Don't sew on this side. Don't sew on the lining side. Sew on the smoky design side so that you can adjust it as you are sewing. So that's what I'm going to do now. I will come back to show us what I've done. So as we can see, I'm done sewing. So please take notes. When you start sewing, after sewing this place, see the way I pleated it. See, So that is how you're going to do it. So when you want to sew this side, you will leave an opening where you are going to turn it out. So I'm going to trim off this excess now. I'll turn it out. So as you can see, this is how the edge will be because of the trimmings. And so the next thing now is I'll close this place up. So when I close this place up, I'll take my handle, which is 5 inches by 12 inches. I'll sew it with the wrong side, on the wrong side like this, and turn it out. I'll do that to the two and come back to show us. So I'm done closing this place. So now I'm sewing this my handle. So now the next thing I want to do now is I'll tuck in this fray edge like this for the two. Let's tuck it in a little. Then take my measuring tape from the edge here, from this edge here. Don't look at this side, from this edge here. Measure out 2.5 inches. Then you come to this edge too. From this edge here, measure out 2.5 inches. So I'll take my handle, place it like this, with this one part facing you. Place it like this and sew it down. Let me pin it down so I can see what I'm doing. Then you come to the other side too and put this in little. Then so this is how it is. So that's how I'll fix the handle. So I'll take it to my sewing machine now and sew from this end down to this end. Make sure you stitch it very well from this end to down to this end. Then when I'm done with that, I'll come back to show us. So I'm done fixing the handle. So now the next thing to do now is to close up our Smocking Turban Cap. Close it up. Make sure this side is equal. You try as much as possible to tuck in this side. You can see the way this place is. So you still tuck it in very well so that you can sew on the lining. I'll sew from this place down to this place and to this place. Then I'll turn it out. When I'm done with that, when I'm done sewing this, I'll sew this. Remember, the measurement for this is, for the twist is 4.5 inches by 40 inches in 2 places. So I'll sew it and turn it out and come back to show us how it looks like. So I'm done closing it. So I'll put this aside now. So this is the twist rope. I've sewn it and turned it out. So now the next thing now to do is to take this my fiber and start putting it into the rope. So when I'm done putting it inside it, I'll come back to show us what I've done. I'm done fixing my fiber into this. So now I'll just measure what, because I left space up here and I left space down here too. So let me just measure the place where I put the fiber, just the place where I put the fiber. "29 inches. So that is how I put the fiber for the two. So now the next thing I will do now is to put it together like this and take it to my sewing machine and sew it. I'll sew it down. I'll join them together like this and sew it down. Let me I'll sew it like this. Let me use pin to demonstrate it. So when I'm done sewing now, I'll now make my twist. When I'm done making the twist too, I'll sew it at this end to secure it. So I'll do that. I'll do that and come back to show us how it looks like. I'm done forming my twist. I will first of all close these two edges up. I'll cut off the excess. So that means you can make your own like 35. It should be okay. But I always like, so you cut off the excess like this. So folding this piece, folding this one into two, and you fold it on it in order to secure the edges, to sew in the edges. So it's going to be neat like this before you place it on this. So now the next thing, we can see I'm done fixing it. So now the next thing to do now is to turn it and make my running stitch at the back of our turban cap. When I'm done with my running stitch, I will now fix this. I'll fix it down. I'll fix it permanently on the body of our turban cap. When you fix it, you see how you want it to be. Then you pick your pin and pin it down. You pin it down very well. You pin it down very well. I'll now take my needle and thread and start to tack it down on it. So I'll do this too and come back to show us what I've. So I'm done fixing it. You can see I'm done fixing it. So I'll fit it on the mannequin and come to show us how it looks like. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Make sure you stay tuned to my WhatsApp group. There are a lot of more exciting tutorials to learn on Glorious Edworks channel. God bless you. Thank you so much.